Welcome back to Special Friends Podcast. My name is Mary Santora.
I'm Sarah Huntington.
A very quick housekeeping thing up front. We are going down to one time a month. We will be giving you guys one podcast a month.
Like a period.
Every 28 days.
A period piece.
We are going to sync our podcast to your bodies. Mm-hmm. We've heard your complaints. We've read your emails.
Yes.
Not one of you's emailed us.
It likely will be on a 28-day cycle.
28-day cycle, most likely.
Yeah. 28 to 30.
Depending on where we're at. 28 to 32.
And it will be a regular cycle.
Yeah,
it's not going to be like one of those funky periods where it comes every 3 months. Like it's like on a birth control regimen cycle.
Right.
So
no breakthrough bleeding. Maybe some cramping.
Yeah.
While you get used to it, you know, the first couple months you're gonna get used to it.
But you never know, if something exciting happens, maybe a little breakthrough bleeding.
No
pregnancy.
We'll see.
So
we'll see how it goes. We're just both getting very busy over the next couple months. And so we were looking at our schedules and we were like, we're not going to be able to do this every single week for at least September, October, November, December. So at least for the, next 4 months, it's only going to be monthly.
It's making her cry. You're getting
emotional. I know. I'm very choked up about it. But probably the first or second week of the month, we'll let you know. But this is going to be the last week. This is the last week of August. So we'll get you probably one next week in September, but that'll be the only one in September. So, yeah.
But the cool thing is it'll be big moments that we share each month.
Yes.
It won't be day-to-day lifestyle stuff. It'll just be really cool things that are happening. And we'll have, good things to talk about.
We'll pick the best and the brightest.
You won't see weekly, where sometimes we have little breakdown weeks. And it'll just be all positive for the most part, hopefully.
We're going to try to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Try to keep it all positive and all big events. Hopefully once a month we'll have big positive events to talk about. It would be pretty sad if we didn't.
Yeah.
That was just a little housekeeping up front. And thank you to everybody who's listened so far. We have I think 30 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's over half a year, man. It's a long time to be doing this.
To be yapping.
It's
a lot of yap that we've talked into these mics. So.
And today is a special day on Special Friends Podcast because we have a very special announcement.
My special?
It's a special announcement on Special Friends.
I have a special.
No, Travis, Kelce, and Taylor Swift got engaged.
My God.
So this is a big day for everybody.
That's really you're a bitch.
No, that's not what it is. But Sarah released a special today. Sarah has a comedy special out. Tell us all about it.
A comedy special out. It's called Rust Belt Royalty, and it's on all streaming services, and you have to buy it, which... Thank you if you do, because it's not free. But I've done a lot of shit for free for a long time.
This podcast included.
This podcast, every video I've put out, every follower I've built has been completely free. I need everyone to know that besides maybe 1 or 2 brand deals, everything that I have done on social media has been 100% done by myself and completely free. If not, cost me money 90% of the time.
I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is that as a content creator or a stand-up or anybody who's putting shit out on the internet, not only does it cost us time, it costs us time to write it, to shoot it, to edit it, which is way longer than you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
You think it's this is just this person talking to their camera. But sometimes if you can't get it right, that'll be an hour. And then editing it, and then doing this, and then doing that. Or the podcast, the lights, and the camera, and the microphones, and the this, and the setup, and the bookshelves, and you're $2,000 in by the time you haven't even released an episode.
Right. So I only need probably 100,000 people to buy this special.
That's not that many.
For me to finally maybe start making some money doing this.
Well, because you have a really decent following. I mean, if 1 in every 5 people bought it, you'd be doing okay.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
That'd be really amazing if you bought it. It's one of those things, that I haven't listened to it all the way through. I have listened to it in bits and chunks. Because I haven't been able to get myself to fully listen to myself for 45 minutes and just be oh, I'm so proud of myself. It's more so
hard.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed of that little part, or at this point, like, I've already changed that joke and it's so much better now already. Like, why did I record it like that? Why didn't I leave that out? So it's 5,000 things going through my head. And at the end of the day, like, I'm just like, oh God, I hate it. But everyone tells you, like, you're going to. Yeah. You're going to hate it because it's yours and it's your baby. And honestly, it's some of the first jokes that I ever wrote, obviously, that I, you know, made better and changed. And I'm already doing that with some of the jokes on there where I'm already changing and evolving them. So it's like, but some of those are truly some of the first jokes I ever wrote down in a book. And I was like, this is an idea. How do I figure out how to, like, tell this or make it funny or
I remember when
relatable.
When I put out my first album, it wasn't a special. There was no video. It was just the audio. And I poured myself over it. I had 5 shows to choose from, though. So I, like, was going through every single recording meticulously to listen for, was this joke better, or were the claps better on this one, or was my pronunciation, I slowed down on this bit a little bit. Like, I'm type A to begin with. So when it came to that, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, that one's good, put out Saturday Late Show. You know what I mean? I got really, really in the weeds about it. And then my dad died. So it was like all I had. Where I was like, you know what? I'm going to lock myself in my house and I'm just going to focus on this special. And the way I described it was like, it's like sending your kid to school for the first time. Yeah. I've had you for 5-6 years. Yeah. And I love you and I think you're great. But you put it out into the world and you're like, I hope you're not a dickhead. I hope you don't start fights for no reason. Like, you know?
Or like, I hope you don't get bullied. Like, should you have worn that?
Yeah. Like, it's tough.
And you know, you're trying to, well, you know, they chose to wear that outfit. I'm sure that they really like it. And but you're also scared that they're going to get bullied. And yeah, it's like, it's, I think that's one thing too with stand-up comedy is like, it's different than like acting. Or I think if I like acted in a movie and people didn't like it, I'd be like, well, you know, they wrote it.
I didn't write it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like this is one of those things where it's like, no, I wrote it and it's true. It's
true. I performed it. I signed off on it. Yeah. There was 15 times I could have said, "Hey, let's keep this one out of here." You know what I mean? Yeah.
And there, I that's where I went a little type B, and I was just like, just put it out. Just put it out. It's fine.
You have to though.
It's fine. It's okay. It out. Like, and there's jokes in there that I'm like not 100% happy with, or like the way that I told it, or even just like maybe some of them aren't necessarily that relatable to me because they are some of the ones that I wrote when I was 26 years old and now I'm 32. So it's like, you know, but it's out there. So now I can just focus on the next one.
Do you feel, how do you feel right now? Because I remember when I released my first album, I was like, oh, I am starting over. I have no jokes. I don't even know what to talk about.
Well, you know what's funny is that I did a show in Anderson, Indiana this weekend.
Yeah, we do need to talk about your weekend.
And so basically it was a lot of my friends and family, and that was nice. And I just told them, I was like, I'm putting out a special on Tuesday, and if you hate all these jokes that I'm about to tell right now, I've got 30 more minutes on this special that you can go watch, and I promise you they're good. They're like ones that I was like, yeah, these need to be recorded and put out into the world. So I did, 25 minutes up top of pretty much all new material. Like,
how'd it feel?
6 new bits, and they all did really well.
Nice.
And then, I kind of ran out of time, or I didn't run out of time. I ran out of material, new material. And I said, well, let me just tell you a little bit from the special. That way, you can see, 5 minutes of what you're going to get yourself into. And those jokes didn't do as well. So
because you're not as connected to them anymore.
Yeah.
Like emotionally.
Like, oh, okay, so my new stuff is going to be fine.
Yeah.
And, like, you think that it won't be. You think, oh, I'm never going to write anything like that ever again. And that was it. And I guess I just quit comedy now because that's all that's interesting that's ever happened to me in my whole life. But I think now I've, like, became a good enough writer that it doesn't have to be super interesting. I can kind of make...
You can tell any
mundane things a little bit more funny. Yeah. So
I always like that feeling of starting over because it is a little bit of a panic. Not starting over, but having a fresh set of material. Because it is a little bit of a panic, but it is also a challenge. So it's fun. And it's like, okay, let's start building toward the next hour. What topics are the same, what topics are different? You know what I mean? Like, do I still want to talk about my upbringing, or is that done and dead with my first album? You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that, where you can kind of, I feel like it always opened me up to explore new topics. So
and that's I know that we're like we're very different, but we're similar in our like family and upbringing a lot of times. And I was like thinking about your two specials. Like the first one was very much about like your upbringing and kind of like your family history, and then your second one was more about like mental health. And a lot of my new jokes have been about like mental health, about healing, about sobriety, like all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, like I guess that's just what your second special becomes. Is
well,
like,
I think
here's how I was raised, and here's how I'm trying to get
rid of it.
Yeah.
I think you just learn as you become a better comic and more experienced. You just learn how to tackle those deeper subjects. Because I mean, surface level shit. I was raised like this. Isn't my mom weird? That's crazy that my dad acted that way. You know what I mean? That's all pretty surface level. And then you start to learn about, oh, here's some things that are wrong with me, right? So that was my last album. And now this hour that I'm working on is like, these are things I actually believe.
Yeah.
Like my core truths, even if they're not popular.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas like the last one was kind of like, oh, can I talk about anxiety? It's really going to resonate with people who don't have, or who do have anxiety, but people who don't have anxiety, is that going to alienate them? And then now I'm like, fuck you, this is what I believe.
Yeah,
Here's where I stand on the issue, and this is why I think it's funny.
These jokes are just called Everything I Believe in.
Right, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so, no, I guess, yeah, I was ready to get rid of them. Again, it's just like that, it was, here's how I was when I was at this age, so put it out into the world. I did have one person message me and say, I need you to talk about this on Special Friends if it's true. Okay. So she said, is the lottery story true? Sort of.
Set it up for the listeners who haven't watched your special
So
yet.
if you watch the special, I say, my family, we grew up really poor. We came into a large lump sum of cash really fast. I won't bore you guys with the details, but it was the lottery. And then I go into this big bit about like what my family bought when we first got money. So truly the first thing that my dad bought when we got money was a limo.
I love that.
There's no, you can ask any of my friends. Like, I remember the first time I posted that joke, a bunch of my friends were like, I loved that limo though, or like had such a good time in there. And people were like, oh, this is true.
Yeah.
Like,
no, my dad bought a limo because that's what poor people think rich people have. Yeah. Rich people do not own limos. No. They hire drivers who show up in limos, but poor people are like, we got to get a limo. We don't get that limousine.
We bought a limo. It didn't run. It broke down all the time. I remember we took it to the Dave & Buster's for my birthday, of course, because the Dave & Buster's was an hour away.
It had rats in the engine.
Yeah, it was a big deal. We were going to Dave & Buster's. And of course, we don't have a driver. We just have my dad's friend, Stacy.
Yeah.
Who's definitely on downers.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's like, yeah, I'll drive it. And she gets it stuck in a garage, like a parking garage. Oh, man. We're like, we'll just get out. So we end up just walking to the Dave & Buster's. Then the whole thing just breaks down. We end up having to get like an Uber or, I don't know, cab at that time back home. I don't know how Stacy got the limo back, but so it was just like a mess. It caused nothing but issues in our lives.
Yeah.
But, you know, we bought like a pool. I say in the joke, we bought a pool above ground. We could afford the in-ground one. We just didn't know they came like that. But we really did buy an in-ground pool.
Oh, so. She's lying in her special.
A little bit.
A little white lie.
I do say my dad bought a really nice boat, but he was also my cousin, which that one is true.
Wait, what?
My dad's not my cousin, but my dad's dad is his. My dad's parents are cousins.
Jesus Christ. You never told me that.
I never told you that? Yeah.
No.
We found out on well, we always kind of knew, but like I bought my whole family.
Like first cousins?
Second. So it was always kind of weird. Like my grandma, when she passed away, my dad never knew his dad. And it was just one of those things where he's like, yeah, I don't know who my dad is. And she put on the birth certificate, Huntington. Okay. So my dad's whole life, he thought his dad was this Dean Huntington. Mm-hmm. And he like confronted him when he was a teenager, and he's like, I'm not your dad. He's like, I don't know why your mom did that. I am not your father. I was not with your mom at the time that she got pregnant. So, and this is also in the 1960s. You can just put a name on there. They didn't have to sign off on it.
They don't even have to be there.
Yeah.
Dads didn't go to the hospital.
Yeah.
You could put anybody, Bill Clinton. Yeah. You could put anybody's name. Bill Clinton's my dad now.
Truly.
For real.
So she was just like Dean Huntington or whatever. And so just his whole life, he like was asking her, and like even on her deathbed, he was like, just tell me who my dad is. And she wouldn't tell him. And she wanted to be buried next to her second cousin. which we were like, that's so weird, because she had a plot up in Kentucky. But she was like, no, I want to be buried in Richmond, Indiana, next to, I forget his name, something Bowling.
And that's your dad's real dad.
Yeah, so, well, we were like, it has to be, right? Then I, like, buy my whole family ancestry DNA test for Christmas, because I just was like, I'm going to ruin a holiday, I guess.
Yes.
And, yeah, that's where, like, we started, you know.
So your uncle and the woman he married are cousins? Or your dad and your mom are cousins?
No. My grandma and my grandpa are cousins.
That's what it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Second cousins.
Yeah.
But also, I know this, it sounds so bad, but I looked it up because I, like, you know, if I do ever have kids, like, is this something I should worry about, genetic issues? They say once it gets to, like, second cousins and that far up in your lineage, it's actually...
You're fine.
It's, like, not as rare as you think. Like, it's, especially in, like, the hills of Kentucky.
It's like, what was going on back then, man? They only knew 6 or 7 people.
Exactly. I mean, like...
I'm not excusing incest.
Yeah.
Okay? But, like... When you're dumb and you're poor and you're from the South and you don't know anything and you don't live in a city, you know the people who are on your street or the houses you can walk to.
And my, what's it called? My grandparents are in the holler. Like, they literally grew up in, like, it was like
a valley.
Secluded from the rest of, so they were like some of the first people to come here from the Appalachian Mountains. Like, they truly didn't know anybody else. So.
Appalachia, like, that's like the biggest, I mean, that's where the joke of West Virginia, you know, fucking your cousin comes from, is because that area of the country is so inbred.
Yeah.
It's so inbred.
They were like, when I also found that out in my ancestry DNA test, my family was like the first settlers there.
Brother.
I know. I'm pretty hot for, like, how...
You should have web
inbred
feet
I am.
Shit. Yeah, this
like,
is crazy.
It's crazy that I, like, turned out decently okay, considering, like, who knows? It's probably just
you
a
should have, like,
line.
at least a crossed eye or something. Like, there should be something going on.
Something. I mean, I'm not very smart, so that's probably what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. The inability to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We'll give her a cute face and good genetics for muscle, but not a thing going on up there.
Definitely like a Joe Dirt hot kind of.
Yeah.
Like...
My outlaw. Gross, dude.
I'm your sister.
I'm your sister. Well, good. So that's good.
They wanted to know, was the lottery story true? No. We didn't win the lottery, but we didn't have money, but my grandpa died without telling her that my dad's dad was his cousin. And when she died, my family got a little bit of money from that, like $6,000 or something like that. And then my mom took that money to a casino, because that's what you do when you get money. Yeah, is you try and double it. Obviously. Won another like $6,000 on a slot machine. So basically, they came into like $12,000 out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And at the time, we had a pizza place. My parents were running a pizza place in my town. That was their job. So my mom took all that money. She bought a house
for $12,000.
$6,000.
She bought a house for $6,000.
It didn't have running water. It didn't have floors. It was basically just...
It was a shack.
Yeah.
It was a shanty.
And, like, it was actually so cool because when we were, like, you know, digging into the walls and stuff, we found pictures from, like, 1920.
They were, like, all your cousins.
Probably.
That's why she got it for $6,000. Yeah. It's actually lineage. This is an heirloom passed down from cousin to cousin to cousin.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And then all of my cousins went and worked on it, which is true. It was basically just like a family business
project.
We didn't hire like contractors. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like, we'll figure this out.
A YouTube video.
Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah, I called him
Billy's got a Lowe's card.
We don't have enough people on here that I called them my mom's redheaded slaves because we have these 2 redheaded cousins.
Oh God.
And like
you said we don't have enough people on here. Like, not enough people listen to this for it to matter?
Like, I don't know if, like, I don't know if we have a huge ginger population on here, like, or black, where I'm like, redheaded slaves, I don't know who I'm hurting in that, but it's got to be someone. It's got to be offensive somewhere.
And you just keep saying it. I mean, whatever, dude. They're your cousins. You can call them whatever you want, I guess.
They just did stuff for my mom because they had no money.
Yeah.
And so they would just come do whatever she asked. So she's like, put flooring down or whatever. And she's like, figure out plumbing.
Yeah.
So they just came there and like figured out how to do like plumbing. Anyway, my mom sells the house for like $100,000.
Holy shit.
And yeah, I mean, that's how she started every single one of her businesses. And
she's got money now.
yeah, and
She's
then
like legit.
she was an entrepreneur at heart her whole life. She just never had the money or the means to be able to really be successful at it. And then after that, she started medical companies. She started storage units. She kept flipping houses. Like,
Good for her.
she just really figured, once she got the means to make money, she did. But like, there were just moments in my life where like, I was like, oh, we have money now.
Mm-hmm. How's that feel? What's that like? I've never felt like that.
I don't know, because for me, it was like, as soon as we got money, my nephews also moved in. And so it was like, it was more, sometimes it was jealousy, where like, I remember how I grew up and then I was watching them grow up in a completely different way. And I was like, fuck you guys.
I feel like that about Blake.
Bitches.
I feel like that about my stepkid. Yeah. And there's this guy I started following on Instagram where he's like fixing his kid's bike. He's always doing some kind of dad shit. And he ends up giving you like this really big piece of knowledge. And he says something about his kids being spoiled or bored. That's what it was. They interrupted his video because they were bored. And he was like in the middle of fixing the bike and he set the thing down. He's like, I need a minute because I'm so mad that they're bored right now. They have a whole house full of shit. Yeah. They got a swing set in the backyard. Like naming off all these things. He's like, I didn't have any of that and I was never bored. But he was basically saying like, they shouldn't, the phrase that he used was something along the lines of, they shouldn't have to worry about my childhood while they're busy living theirs. So it's like, don't put your childhood on your kid. Like, it's a good thing that they have all this stuff. Yeah. Don't be mad at them because you gave them a good life. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's really
I never
hard.
had this growing up. Yeah. Or like,
when Blake says she's bored.
You're going to cry? I didn't even have a bike growing up. That kind of stuff.
I'm really bad about that. And that's something I'm trying to get better about because when Blake says that she's bored, it makes me crazy. Because I'm like, you have 2 rooms. You have a bedroom that has all your stuffies and your clothes and your makeup and your hair stuff and your skincare. And then you have a playroom dedicated to entertaining you. Yeah. You have probably 30 Lego sets. You have art supplies. Yeah. You have coloring books. You have dolls. You have doll houses. You have so much shit. You have a TV in that room.
She's
do
also
not come out here and tell me you're bored.
Child, and I do feel like because I was sort of an only child for a good portion of my life, I was an only child. It's like, yeah, you have all this stuff, but like I had like such a crazy imagination, and you have to if you're an only child because like my parents were literally like, you're not bored. You have all these toys, go play. And so I'm just like, okay. Like, then you have to like come up with shit in your own head. Like, oh, I guess you're my friend now, and you're talking to like a teddy bear. Like,
you know what though? That will explain because she'll tell us how to play. She'll be like, okay, now you say da 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 da, and I'm like, that's not how you play with people. But I'm like, she hasn't really played with people a whole lot. When you're by yourself, you have to look at the bear and say, okay, Mr. Teddy Bear, now you say.
That's why she talks like that to you guys. That's the only way she's learned how to play. It's like,
God, that's so sad when you say it like that. Because it annoys me. I'm like, Blake, you can't tell people what to say. Because other kids will get annoyed with her too. She'll be like playing with my younger niece who's 6, Blake's 9. And she'll be like, Bella, you have to say da-da-da-da-da. And Bella will be like, I'm not saying that. Like, you're out of your mind. And Blake, like, doesn't get why Bella won't say it.
I think I had a little bit of trouble when I, like, first started getting friends. Because I remember my first friend in, like, kindergarten and stuff, we were playing with, like, sock puppets. And I was like, okay, now your sock puppet does this. And she was like, no. And I kind of, like, I remember my mom having to tell us, like, hey, you can't, like, fight. And also, like, Claire is allowed to do whatever she wants with her sock puppets. Okay,
right.
Like, I'm like, yeah, but why would she put its eyes down there?
Yeah, right.
So where you put eyes on a sock puppet, you idiot?
Yeah, because you've never seen anyone do it differently. Yeah. That sucks, dude. But yeah, you're not supposed to be upset at kids who have a good life. So like your nephews. Yeah. You're not supposed to be pissed off, but you are. And especially if you're a teenager.
No, I'm not, but when I was like watching it unfold, and you know, even sometimes still now, I'm just like, oh, you guys are so freaking spoiled.
My thing is just about being grateful. You can, and that's my big thing is that, like, I will give you anything in the world that you want as long as you're grateful for it. And the minute you start to expect it, or the minute you start to act like an asshole, or the minute you start to demand it, is when I'm like, well, now you don't get anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm like, just say thank you. Just be happy that you have something. Just, you know, and that's a hard thing to teach.
Yeah, I'm not mad at them. And I also am really happy with how I was raised because it makes me, like, I know there are moments in my life where I could take a handout. There are moments where I could say, I don't want to pay rent this month. And I know that I would not fail at this point. And I have...
By not fail, she means her mom would pay it.
Yeah.
So everybody's clear.
Yeah. And I never have.
My mom calls me and she's like, hey, I need $20. I need $20 for gas. Can you Zelle Elena $20 so she can take it out of the bank and give it to me? I'm like, you guys are a fucking nightmare, dude.
And I, like, refuse to do it just out of pride. So... I'm happy, and because I know what it's like to work hard for money.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it. I saw how much effort it takes. So I'll never take a free handout. And I'm like, I love that I got to experience that way. I don't ever do that.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that. So go watch Sarah's special. It's out where?
Any streaming. So Amazon Prime, Google,
Amazon Prime's the big one.
YouTube. Yeah.
That's your credit now.
Yeah?
When people, what do you want me to say? Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you. Oh, I punched my thing. You have a big credit.
I have an IMBD.
Oh, girl. She did it. Okay. Now, let's switch gears.
Okay.
Because I went home for a couple days last week, and I saw Sarah having a mental breakdown on the internet, where you decided to rearrange the house and then put it back where it went. Mm-hmm. I was gone 12 hours at this point. Mm-hmm. So can you walk me through what happened in those moments when you decided to pull the whole couch out, move it, and then put it right the fuck back where it was? And I have follow-up questions. Do you want me to ask? Go ahead. Let me hear where your thought process was of why you decided to not move around the living room.
I think the past, like, I feel better now, but there was, like, you saw, I was having a very high emotional week 2 weeks ago for, like, 2 weeks. It was not just, like, manic. It was buying a car. I cried a lot. I just felt really lost. Like, I was on high emotion. Mm-hmm. So that day I woke up and I just felt like something has to change. Okay. And I've been like this for like 2 weeks. And I do feel better. Like 2 days ago, I started feeling better. And I think that is just like truly mental health issues where like, yeah, I'd love to not feel like that. But my brain doesn't, the wires don't always connect and tell me, yeah, you don't have to do this. Mm-hmm. It just happens. And so I was like, I want the living room to be different. That's really all it was. And then I was thinking about how, well, we're switching rooms. Mary and I are switching rooms. It's a whole thing. But I was like, if we move that table, then the table goes in that room. I was like, I wonder how the couch would look if we moved it up.
Off the wall?
Mm-hmm. So,
what would that solve? What are you putting behind the couch?
I don't know. I thought, like maybe if I got like a square table back there, or if it was just two bar stools and then there was nothing here.
So
and then
you wanted the couch in the middle of the living room?
Well, it just feels really far away. It feels like there's a lot of distance. The feng shui felt off, okay?
Okay.
And I also think that rich people don't put their couches against the wall.
Rich people have bigger houses.
Right.
Or a smaller couch.
And then
it's the same thing with your bed being in a corner.
Right.
If your room is 10 by 10, that's the only place you can put a bed.
Right.
And open the closet door still.
I took away this one and the middle one. And
she took away, what she's pointing at is there's a giant, her couch is 4 squares that are all, you can move them around into different configurations, okay? So she took away one square that could either go in the middle. There's no back to it. It's mostly just a footrest. And then she took away the middle square that does have a back to it. So you just had the 2 end pieces to essentially make a love seat. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it looked cute. And I was like, okay, I like this. But then I started thinking, like, well, we like hang out on the couch a lot. Mm-hmm. So then, you know, we'd be like really cuddled up on the couch. And then I was like, ugh, I'll have to like.
You don't like being touched?
Touch your feet. Our feet will be touching. So I didn't like that. So then I just got rid of the middle one and just put that one out. But then it was too far. You couldn't get in and out of the hallway. So then I took that one away, just put the middle one. But then it goes back to touching each side of the wall. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, what if I just move it all the way forward, take the table, put it behind there. Then we have like a separate living room from dining room area. But then the table is round. The table needs to be square if it's going to be back there.
Okay.
So then I moved the table back. And I think at that point is when I gave up and I just put everything back where it was.
Okay. You also cleaned around the house. When I came home, the couch was all put together. Everything seemed like it had been vacuumed. Things were not in their places. Mainly, number one, can you walk me through the mental process of taking our trash bags out from behind the trash, where they have been for 2 years, that we use 1 to 2 times a week?
I can.
She took them out of there and put them in the top of a cupboard.
No, they're just behind the other trash can.
The trash bags that I found are...
No, they're just behind the recycling bin now.
Oh my God, I did not see those. Because I looked behind the trash can, and where the big thing of trash bags normally was not there. There's a composting thing that we are never going to use. We're never going to compost. So I'm looking and I'm like, this bitch really hid the trash bags. And when I looked up, they're at the top of a shit. They are 9 feet. They almost touch the ceiling. And I'm like, I have to ask her, in what world does she think that we need quicker access to composting than trash bags? Okay, so I didn't see them behind the recycling then.
No,
okay.
The trash bags did get... That is hilarious.
I was like, I've been waiting to the podcast to ask you, why the fuck is the composting where the trash bags go?
Okay, and I will say the composting is behind the trash can because I was so fucking tired of looking at it on our counter.
Okay.
I was like, why do we have a compost bin sitting on our counter that we don't use? And I was like, well, maybe we'll start composting, so I'll just put it in where the other trash is, and we'll just have compost eventually, I guess. But that's where it will live, because it's not going to live on the countertop if we do start using it. And then, I moved the trash bags over.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense because the only trash bags I saw were in the cabinet. I was like, so I have to pull out a chair every time I want to get a trash bag, but then an empty compost bin is in here? This is crazy. This girl needs fucking medication. This is insane. The other thing, I talked about it in the Backstreet Boys episode. I won the Tupperware and it was missing. I checked every fucking cupboard. I checked where you would think it would be in the cupboard with all the other Tupperware. Wasn't in there. So I checked our backup Tupperware. The mismatched stuff that none of it has a lid wasn't in there. Wasn't with the cups. Wasn't with the bowls. I'm like, where the fuck did she put this goddamn Tupperware? Hidden underneath the pots. And I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Okay. Why are you hiding things from me? This is so annoying.
This goes back, I don't know if you follow me on my story, I posted a video of my mom's house where I was going through her cabinets and I was like, why is there Chex Mix in with your pots and pans? And she was like, it's the only place it would fit. Which I'm very much like, when I clean, I want like everything to look clean. So like I want everything off the countertops. I don't want clutter. I want everything to just look like clean when you walk in. Mm-hmm. Now, if you get into the nitty gritty of the cabinets, that's where things start to get a little messy.
Because I am not going to put something in a cabinet where it doesn't belong. I don't know. That would make me insane.
I put things where they fit. So I was like, oh.
If I open up the snack cabinet and there's random 2 pieces of Tupperware and snacks and trash bags, I would have an aneurysm. I would be like, none of this goes together.
I would have put the Tupperware into the Tupperware cabinet, but you've talked about that you're going to take it home to Brian.
Brian's taking it home with him this weekend when he comes home.
So that's why I was like, well, let me just put this somewhere to store it so it's off the counter. Well, I didn't know if you wanted Tupperware in your room. Who wants Tupperware sitting in their room?
I don't know, Sarah. The same person who wants a couch in the middle of the floor. So, Sarah.
Any more questions?
Sarah, no, those were the only 2, and I'm glad that you clarified because I have not changed out the recycling yet. Those were the two big ones that I had to be like, why are you hiding things? In what world does trash bags make more sense?
And I did move this here.
Yeah, she moved. We have a little tray. It's an end table, actually. What?
No.
What?
Keep going.
It's an end table that we use as a coffee table because it's on wheels and we can move it around, and then we put the podcast shit on it too. And it was moved away from the couch. And I was like, she has eaten every meal for 2 years at this end table.
Yeah.
So then I was like, is she going to start eating her meals in the pink chair, or is she going back to the dining room table that she doesn't like?
Well, yeah, if it was up to me, I would either get a regular coffee table there or bar stools there.
You can do both those things.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be gone so much the next couple months, we're trading rooms so Sarah has the bigger room, which makes sense. And Duchess is moving home. There's a lot of changes. She's very excited to move home. But we are in this weird in-between zone that I know has been driving Sarah insane, where we can't change rooms yet.
Yeah.
Because we have someone coming over to take my bed apart and put it back together. It's all screws. It's all wood. It all is. I can't do it. It needs to be done by someone who knows how to do these things. So we can't trade rooms yet. So Sarah's living in this in-between space where she wants things to be done, but nothing can be done yet.
That's exactly what it is.
Is that what it is? You're like, I can't move my bed.
Yeah.
We can't swap closets because then our clothes are in the wrong room.
Yeah. I couldn't switch rooms with you, so I thought, let me try and figure out this living room situation.
Which nothing in the living room is changing.
Wrong. Yeah. 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 But I just thought, I think that's what it is. It's just driving me crazy that we're about to do something, but we haven't yet. Mm-hmm. And the
anticipation is
I also rearranged my entire closet.
Oh, did you
really?
Yeah,
so I was like, when I move it to your closet, I already know
it'll make more sense.
Yeah, how each thing. Right now it looks a little messy, but I know where each thing is going to go in your closet. So yeah, I have already.
When I'm not here, are you in my closet plotting? Are you opening it up and looking around?
I've seen your closet enough times to know what it looks like.
I'm going to have to get rid of some shoes. I already decided that because I'm like, they're not all going to fit in your closet. I have an entire closet of shoes.
Yeah.
I have 2 closets, the entire left side of the closet of shoes. And I'm like, there's just no way this is going to happen.
I've been thinking about how I'm going to line up my boots there. Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited, especially you have that whole extra corner. I'm like, okay, so that's I was thinking desk. I'm probably going to get 2 things. I'm going to put my boots on each side of the desk. That'll be my makeup get ready area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've really thought about this.
I can tell. You're very excited. It's very exciting stuff.
I love change. I was always one of those kids that's new room, new me.
Rearrange your room.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
It's an energy shift.
Mm-hmm.
The cats can feel it. The cats have been puking a lot.
Yeah.
The cats have been throwing up everywhere. And simultaneously, I told you Sarah just got back from Indiana last week.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. And I went to check on Chloe the day before that. So you got back Monday?
Mm-hmm.
So I checked on her. I went to go make sure she had food on Sunday.
Yeah.
And she had thrown up right by the door. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, but that night, Duchess had also thrown up on her litter mat. So I woke up and I cleaned up Duchess's puke the next morning, and then I go in to check on Chloe and there's puke, and I'm like, what is going on with you two?
Also, Chloe scattered her food across the entire floor.
They can feel the energy shift too.
Yeah.
Because Duchess has been extra cuddly. She has been all over me. Like I told Sarah, my favorite thing in the world that she does, she'll lay on her side, right on my side, really circled up, and then she puts an arm over me. Yeah. And she does not lay like that often. But she was doing it the other night. I had to pee so bad. But they can feel that there's a vibe going on. They just don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. So they're throwing up, and Duchess is cuddling. Chloe is screaming. All day long. Just it's very strange.
Right before Chloe's about to throw up, she comes into the living room every time and she goes, and then but it's she has to tell us. She's like, I'm full up. I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna throw up.
It is the equivalent of a little kid coming, I'm gonna puke. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I feel like, well, get to the fucking toilet.
Yeah, I don't feel good. And then gets to my rug. She's like, let me throw up on the rug.
Yeah. Yeah. the next couple months are going to be big. They're going to be different. There's a lot happening, a lot we can't really say, a lot of exciting things. I'm going to be on the road. I'm basically going to be splitting time between Ohio, New York, and the road, which is going to be fun. It's going to be tough. I'm worried about all the travel, but I'm hoping I'll go up in a Delta member status.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Delta Diamond.
I'm gold.
Oh, you're
So
gold
it
right
would
now.
go Platinum, and then I think Diamond's
medallion. Very hard to get. Yeah.
I think Diamond Medallion's the highest, but I think it goes silver, gold, platinum, diamond.
Yeah.
And I'm gold right now. So by the end of the year, there's no excuse for me not to be a fucking platinum member. But yeah, it's going to be big. I've been getting a lot of self-tape callbacks for auditions, mostly roles of moms.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Speaking, we don't have a lot of time yet, but speaking of Delta, I did just want to talk real quickly about my recent airport experience at Delta.
Oh yeah, I saw this on your story. What happened?
So I am so nosy, and
everybody's nosy. If someone's screaming in public, everybody's nosy.
I hear this lady yelling, and I get so excited because I love drama.
I love a public meltdown.
I look, and the flight is going to Nantucket, and it is the most Nantucket woman I have ever seen in my life. Just this blonde. Somebody replied to my story and said, Mary's really losing it.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not me. Was she wearing like a visor or something?
She was wearing like a Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah.
And then a big white hat. And she goes up to this man, and she was like...
A gate agent.
And
no control over anything.
Why didn't you tell me that I was about to miss my flight? And he's like, I don't have control over, She goes, no, when people are about to miss their flight, you call them and you let them know.
Where was she?
I guess she was just in the airport and just lost
wandering
track of
around?
time. Yes.
Oh, God.
Also, keep in mind, from LaGuardia Airport to Nantucket is about a 3-hour train ride, maybe a 4-hour drive. So it's
40-minute flight?
Yeah.
If
and
that?
also it's babe, just get on a train.
Yeah.
Just
you'll be there before the end of the night.
Because there wasn't another flight going out. But however, there were plenty of ways for her to get there. Mm-hmm. So then she's like, let me see your name tag. She makes him pull out his name tag. She's taking a picture of it. And then she starts going, listen here, Jamal. And I know it wasn't racist because that was her name. Was his name. But something about it still felt racist.
Yeah, well, it's a white lady screaming at a black guy who didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
For her to
didn't miss her flight.
No. And then she just goes, you ruined my wedding weekend.
Okay, here's my point. If you're going to, because I saw the you ruined my wedding weekend part. If you're getting married, don't you think getting on the flight is priority one?
Very important.
What else are you doing on your wedding weekend at LaGuardia Airport?
And why are you there alone?
Unless she's going, maybe he's already there, or she's going a couple days early to do hair and makeup or something, test runs or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying. I was like, and nobody else can give you a ride to your wedding? Are you marrying yourself?
Maybe.
There's not one other person that could be like, oh, hey, we can pick you up on the way.
Yeah.
Or we'll see you tomorrow or something. You're there completely alone and it's that important.
Dude.
And then then other people end up having to come in and she yells at everybody. She's just pacing back and forth. But I'm just
she ended up getting escorted out, or you got on your flight?
I had to get on my flight, and I was so sad.
Damn.
It was I left during the first episode. And yeah, I didn't get to finish the season. Yeah.
It was an episode though, for real. Dude, people like that. I have been extremely frustrated while traveling. And it's hard because you don't have anybody to take your frustration out on. Mm. And it's there have been times, I remember at LaGuardia, my flight got canceled twice. And I had already been through security, had to come out back to the fucking Delta gate to get help, and then go back through security, and then I got canceled again. And they were like, you have to go back out. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Valid, though, because they're canceling your flight. She missed
her own flight. That's what I'm saying, is that, I don't think I've ever fucked up and been mad at a third party when it comes to like travel or something like that. Like if I've been mad and I've told gate agents or whoever it might be at a restaurant or something where I'd be like, I understand you are not at fault here. And I'm going to try my best to control my tone. But I am very aggravated right now. Oh, that's what happened. The day that it was 2 cancellations, I had to cancel a show. Because they canceled my flight to Cleveland, and I was going to rent a car and drive down to Columbus. They rescheduled me to fly directly, or it was the other way around. I was going to fly directly into Columbus. They canceled that, so I was going to fly into Cleveland and rent a car and drive down. And then they canceled that. And then I was like, well, where else can you get me? And they said that they could only pick airports within 100 miles of the original airport. And I can't remember which one it was, if it was Dayton or Cincinnati or something. Another airport they're going to fly me into was like 107 miles. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like this is, and this when I told the gate agent or the self-help lady, whoever the hell she was, I was like, I am not mad at you because I understand this is protocol, but I need you to do something. I don't know what it is. They gave me like 2,500 points or miles or whatever. Like, we can offer you a satisfaction, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this helps nothing. I had to cancel my shows in Columbus. They were like sold out. I was like, I physically, at this point, it's 4:30. Yeah. I cannot get there in time to do these shows.
Yeah, that is different. That's where I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Had I just slept in and then not got to the airport on time and then to scream at somebody, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've had flights canceled before and been rude. I missed a wedding one time because they just kept canceling my flight. And at the time I was only like 18, so I really didn't like have the balls to like be mad. But I remember being like, what are you guys going to do? Like, what are we doing? Like, but I did miss my flight. First flight I ever missed, like 3 months ago. I was going to Arizona. I just overslept. Like, my flight was out at 6:45 a.m. and I woke up at 6 a.m. and I was like, whoop, fuck. Like,
my bad.
I'm not, like, and I will say I was being very impatient at the airport because I really did think that I could possibly make it. Yeah. Like, I ran out of here, and you know the timer on your phone, it's telling you, like, so I'm standing in line and it's like 7 minutes until boarding
or whatever,
And so I'm literally like, I'm right up on this girl. And like, she's like, can you back up? And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm about to miss my flight. She's like, babe, we're all trying to get our flight. And I was like,
because you want to flip out, but you know she's right. Yeah. You know she didn't. You're like, this is no one's fault but mine. Yes. And that's infuriating.
Yes. And I went, I'm sorry. But like inside I was like, but then I got there and I just like, at that point I was just like, I missed it, didn't I? And she was like, yeah. And I was like,
I don't think I've ever missed a flight. I have changed them. Yeah. Where like if I have a 6 a.m. flight and I want to sleep, if it's like 2 a.m, I'll just change the flight. But I've never missed, like just full on overslept, never made it. I've never done that.
Yeah, that was my first time, and I thought it was going to be so bad, but they just put me on another flight like 2 hours later. I was like, oh, well, that was so easy. I thought it was going to be so much tougher than that. So you don't have to flip out like Nantucket lady.
Don't flip out like Nantucket. Watch Sarah's special.
Yes.
And then we will give you guys one podcast in September next week. So you will hear us next Wednesday. We'll wrap up everything that's been going on. We'll have more of a direction. Maybe the living room will be different. Maybe it will not. We aren't sure yet.
Maybe the trash bags will be in a new place.
Maybe the trash bags will be attainable.
Maybe we'll start composting.
Maybe we'll compost. Maybe Chloe will stop throwing up. We don't know yet, but tune in next week and we'll give you all the answers. You can follow us at Special Friends Podcast. I'm at Mary Santora Comedy.
At Sarah Pop-Tarts.
Bye.